How's it going, guys? I am that socially awkward gamer you probably forgot existed, otherwise known as IAmPattyJack. And what happens when two planets in the same solar system have a disagreement? Well, I mean, the only sensible solution is for them to blow each other up with interplanetary missiles and lasers. And that's exactly what Interplanetary attempts to do. So, this is a game that's currently in alpha. I actually apparently have a pre-alpha build to the game right now. So the developers were like, yeah, we'll send you a pre-alpha to go check out. So we're going to do an early impressions of this video. Now, because this game is in pre-alpha, obviously everything is subject to change. This is quite literally the basic concept of the game. It's not a finished product. Everything's going to change. So the purpose of this video is to inform you, the viewer, of what the game is and what it sets out to be, as well as to offer my honest opinions and even some suggestions for the future of the development of the game. So, yeah, you need to just keep that in your mind. This is not a finished game at all. So, let's get into it then. As you can see, right now they have Hot Seat multiplayer, LAN, and online multiplayer. So Hot Seat is actually 2-player on like the same computer, so you could actually do co-op on PC, which is nice. There's not a lot of games that allow you to do that. And with this game it works pretty well because it's not extremely intensive. You kind of go through a turn-based system, so that makes it good. And yeah, there's no one playing online multiplayer at the moment, obviously because it's in alpha and not many people have the game. So what we're actually going to do for demonstration purposes is go into the Hot Seat multiplayer, and I'm just going to play both sides because I can just kind of show you exactly how the game works and whatnot. So I think that's the best idea because I don't have anyone else in the house who has a code to play the game anyways, so. Righto, so this is Interplanetary. This is an indie game developed by Jolly Roger. This is kind of their first foray into, I don't want to call it a real game, but this is their first foray into like a widespread release. They're a Finnish developer. They were responsible for a couple of mobile games in the past on Windows phones and whatnot. So this is their probably biggest work to date, and I'm gonna explain what this game is because it looks a little confusing. I understand. It's different, to say the least. So this is a game about two planets or more planets. You can have up to, I know you can have more than 2 players. So this is about 2 planets that are at war. And the object of the game is to use your planet, say this is my planet right now on player 1's turn, to shoot missiles at that planet. In order to do that, you have to take into account the rotation factors of everything, so how the planets rotate around the sun, as well as gravitational pull from things like the sun and other celestial bodies like this planet in front of me here. So, how do we fire missiles, and how do we kind of play the game? Let's go right into it. So, up in the top right corner here, you have all of your little different options throughout your turn. So it's a little bit like the Civilization 5 way of doing things, actually. So you get your build view, which takes you down to your planet here. So we're just gonna go straight down, and we're gonna build something. So this is player 1's planet. It's quite nice. It looks like Earth. I don't know. It's a pretty good looking planet for like an alpha version of a game. I quite like it, actually. So these are our cities right here. There's a couple of them scattered across the world. And basically what you do is you utilize these cities to build things like these railguns, lasers, and missiles. So these are the 3 weapon types that they currently have in the game. In order to do that, you have to build resource places like nuclear plants and mines and things like that. So obviously nuclear and solar plants give you energy, whereas mines give you more resources from the world. So there is a limited amount of resources in the world, so that kind of makes you have to play the game like very tactically and actually like try to finish it. You couldn't just say defend your world forever because eventually you'd run out of resources and just lose outright. So that's kind of nice. So what we're gonna do here is build a nuclear plant because that enables us to have power on our world. And then after that, we'll build a railgun, because that's the cheapest weapon. Also the most inaccurate, so... But I believe might be the strongest as well, if you hit it with everything. The railgun kind of like splits up into separate little impact zones when it hits a planet, so it's in theory the strongest, but since it splits up, it kind of mitigates the damage. Right, so we've done that, and probably want to save enough so we can fire on the enemy planet first turn. I think that's a good idea. Why not? So now that we've got our two buildings set up here, as you can see, they're both connected to the city and the electrical grid, so you need some sort of power plant in order to power the railgun, so you can actually shoot things. So we're going to go over to the targeting view. You just click the little things in the top corner there, and it takes you there. Righto, so our planet's right here, and we want to hit this planet over here. And this planet is currently rotating counterclockwise that way. So what we got to do is we click on our railgun, and as you can see, it makes this little let's try that again. It makes a little trajectory line. And you have to use that to kind of figure out where the planet is going to be when the missile is along that trajectory. So in order to do that, like, I can't just... Okay, apparently... Okay, I can actually maybe curve this correctly. Right. It's a little fiddly right now. I think that further along in development, they could maybe polish the aiming module a bit, but it does the job for now. So what we got to do is somehow figure out where it's going to hit. So we're going to try maybe right there. We'll see if that does anything. Right, so now we've got our railgun trajectory, so it's going to follow that path to a certain extent. It's probably going to hit some gravitation on that planet right there. And in fact, it might actually just hit the planet outright, so that might have been a terrible idea on my part, because that planet's going to be rotating clockwise, so if there is a big possibility that my missile's going to hit that one instead, so that's kind of annoying. Anyways, we're done with that planet, so we'll just head over to player 2, which I'm also playing because, I don't know, because there's no actual AI multiplayer in this game yet, so that's fine. I mean, it's a demonstration alpha. I would assume they might add something like that in later. It just seems like it would be a standard thing, but I don't know. So we're going to do roughly the same thing. Maybe we'll add a mine in for these guys so they can get some more resources. And can we give them a railgun? Yeah, we can. We're not going to be able to fire this turn, though, because we've used up all our energy. So you get your energy bar at the top up here, and it tells you things like the population of your cities on your planet. So if your cities get hit by like missiles and stuff, then obviously your population dies. In order to stop that from the weapons, like destroying your mines and your weapons and cities and whatnot, you can build like things like shield defenses and kinetic defenses. So the kinetic one kind of shoots down the enemy missiles, whereas the shield defense is basically just a giant shield that stops everything. Obviously, it can be destroyed as well, so you gotta be careful. Yeah, so the two main resources are energy and materials. And materials you just get from these mines that I set up here. Right, so we will actually go to the intelligence view. And what that does is it lets you roughly see what the enemy planet is building. Because obviously, when you're playing this game, you're going to be really wanting to know exactly what the enemy is doing so that you can kind of plan around it. I would assume that later on in development, they're going to add a lot more options. Probably a tech tree would be a welcome addition, as well as some more options of variety for buildings. I don't know, something like maybe you could even build like colonizations to colonize other planets. That would be great, because in theory, if you could colonize another planet, or you could actually just make like a defensive planet. So if I wanted to actually colonize this planet, I think it'd be a wonderful idea to do that, because what I could do if they were to also implement this in the game is maybe build like a gravity well generator. So I could effectively turn that planet into a giant gravity well, which would help defend my planet, because when it's in rotation, a lot of the time it's in close proximity. So if I have a gravity well, it's gonna take the enemy's missiles and kind of direct them towards that planet instead of my home planet. That'd be a cool addition to the game, I think. So, alright, so we're gonna end the turn here. So when we end the turn is when the actions that both players have put forward set out. Yeah, so we fired off our missile, and yeah, like I Like I figured, it was going to hit that planet right there instead, which is unfortunate. Although as this turn ends, we're in quite a good position to be able to hit the other planet this time. So that was unfortunate. Let's see if we actually did any damage to that planet. Yeah, so you can see where you hit the planets just by those little smoke trails there. There is a little bit of degree of luck involved as to where you hit the planet, especially with a railgun, because you're not guaranteed to hit the cities, but you're guaranteed to hit something usually. So I don't know if they'll be able to expand that and make it a bit more, like if you were to use a laser or something, you could be a bit more accurate and like hit a certain building directly in order to help you out. Because lasers cost more, but they're a lot more accurate, so. Right, so let's go back into our planet here. And should we build another railgun? We kind of need a mine for this planet, so I think we'll make a little mining colony off of this city here. And we'll do that. Right. Yeah, this game's running on the Unity engine as well, so I don't know. If you like the Unity engine, that's great. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it in this sort of game because it's not exactly taxing. It doesn't really tax the engine at all, so that's fine. And we'll throw in probably... Should we throw in a laser? Yeah, let's put in a laser. And oh, I can't put it there though because it won't be connected to the power grid. Okay, so we gotta put it actually up here. I did that before, where I put in a laser, but I didn't have a power grid, so it didn't work. That wasn't exactly the most ideal thing. I guess head back over to targeting, and we only have enough energy for the railgun again, so we'll just do that. Right. So this gets a little awkward sometimes because the way the planet is currently rotated in its day-night cycle, it doesn't allow me to just kind of aim that way towards the other planet directly because the railgun is situated right there on this side, on like basically the opposite side of the planet. So what I have to do is actually curve it around the sun using the gravity, and I have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Like I said, the targeting is a little fiddly right now. There's no question about it, but once you figure out exactly how you're gonna do it, okay. We'll try right there and see. It's a long shot, but we'll see how that goes. I do think that they could definitely improve that, but again, pre-alpha, not too worried about it. Alright, so we're gonna just go to next player now. Head over to our build mode again. I guess the weird thing about this game is I've never really played anything like it, but it quite reminds me of this weird cross between Worms, and for some reason it feels like the planets themselves feel like the cities in Civilization. It feels like you're having kind of like a big battle between two Civilization cities that happen to be situated right next to each other, along with that kind of random element of having to aim your weapons and stuff that you'd play with like Worms Revolution or something like that. Okay, let's throw in probably just another railgun, and we'll try to actually, because these guys didn't attack last time, so we kind of want to get some attacks in there, and hopefully, yeah, these guys are like aiming right at them, so this shouldn't really be a problem. Hopefully we'll hit something. There we go. I'll show you the laser next turn as well, because it does behave differently than the railguns do. Okay, let's see if we hit anything. Oh, we're gonna hit it? There we go. That's a hit on the planet. Oh, I almost hit myself with my own railgun. That would have been embarrassing. We just gotta rely on gravity. There we go. That was a good shot by me. That was an incredibly lucky shot. So we have one hit on each planet. Let's see if it did any damage to them. So where did these hit? Okay, that's unfortunate. They kind of hit everywhere except our cities. So, yeah, it looks like the planet was in the opposite rotation at the time. Not ideal. For the other guys, at least. So we're going to put in a solar plant over here. I don't have enough resources. That's annoying. Alright, so we gotta kind of wait on our mine to get us some more resources. I think it'd be nice if the mines probably worked a bit more. So... Although, it probably... Actually, now that I think about it, I don't have this one connected to the power grid, which is what I was trying to do anyways. So I did make the mistake I made last time by not connecting it, so... That's annoying. So I'm getting a few minerals per turn, but it's going to be a while before I can really make anything else. So I kind of screwed this planet over right now. But what we can do is still attack anyways. So we'll use the laser, I think. Yeah, we're still in general sight, I hope. Unfortunately, we're actually not, because we're again in the opposite rotation, so the laser isn't facing the other planet, so that's kind of a hindrance to it, because I can't... There's no way to aim towards it, because what the laser does is it fires in a straight line. Hell, I'll fire it anyways, just to show you what it does. Then we'll use our railgun, try to curve it. Again, yeah, there we go. I think instead of when you can't aim somewhere, having it just kind of having the travel line just disappear, I think it'd be better to have it turn like a different color, so that you at least know where it would end up anyways, and that way you can kind of like aim a bit better and figure out where you're gonna aim, because it does get a little annoying sometimes. Alright. Maybe that'll work. Let's try it. Now, where did these guys get hit? Oh, crap. They hit our railgun. That's not good. And where else was... Let's try that again. Was that it? That's the only one that hit us? Looks like it. Well, they did smack our railgun real hard, so that's kind of annoying. And we will make... Let's make a shield defense. Or not. No, we can't. Don't really have that many. So I think we'll actually just not build anything as well and let our mine kind of build up some more resources for us. Okay, let's use a railgun. Okay, this one's going to be difficult because we've got to curve it more up. There we go, never mind. Never mind. That's pretty simple. Now hopefully the gravity will just kind of bring her in. I don't know if projectiles that you fire off can actually hit each other. So that would be interesting, to say the least. Okay, so let's fire off again. So as you see the laser hit that planet, just because it's pretty much like an instant attack. So it's a lot, it doesn't do as much damage, but it's a lot more accurate. And it looks like those were both horrible, horrible attacks. And that one got hit by the gravity from the other planet as well. And then hit a random planet. That's wonderful. Damn you, gravity. That's crazy. Righto, so this is Interplanetary at the moment. As I said, alpha build. This is the very basic concept of it. You got 2 planets or more, and you're trying to fire missiles at them. And do I like it? I actually really do. I think that the game has a lot of potential. I think that they would definitely benefit from adding in things like tech trees, so you could build like more types of buildings. Maybe you could build like an advanced... Try that again. Maybe you could build like an advanced mine or something that gets you more resources over time, or you could build like better weapons or upgrade your weapons and things like that. Just some sort of tech tree to make the game a bit more in-depth would be great. Or something like you could specialize your planet in being extremely defensive while you tried to colonize another planet and made that your primary like assault planet or something like that. I think that'd be a really neat way to vary up the game instead of having both people just kind of be building stuff on one planet and firing at each other. You could have like one person trying to colonize all the other planets while someone else is trying to just stop them from doing it and being on the defensive, or just building up, say, all their attack on 1 or 2 planets. I think that having something like that would be really interesting. So that's my general thoughts on the game. And if you're interested, you know, you can go down to the website. It's on Steam, Greenlight, and everything. You can find all the links to everything down in the description below. And hope you guys enjoyed. So, this is Interplanetary. We blow up planets because why the hell not? I am PattyJack. I will see you guys next time. Peace off. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. I would be super appreciative. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because then you can see all the other awesome content I make. If you want to go find that content, there's a bunch of playlists down in the description for you. Anyways, sounds like I got some dragon slaying to do. Patty out!